if you said to any stripper, what's the creepiest thing a guy said, I guarantee it'd be the same sort of thing. God, you remind me so much of my daughter, niece, sister. What?
Oh.
Do you want to go for a dance? I'm like, I mean, 20 quid's 20 quid, but Jesus.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. And you don't ask the age, I guess, honestly, though.
Well, here's the thing. So I used to, until a couple of weeks ago, I always wore a schoolgirl outfit to work. And I had to be very, very careful with it because I'd say to guys after they agreed to dance, I'd go, do you like the schoolgirl outfit? And some guys would be normal and go, yeah, it's okay, I guess. I mean, I think the skirt's cute, but to be honest, I just think you're really pretty. That's why I went for the dance. I'm like, okay, cool. So you're not a dirty little pedo. And they'll laugh. The other guys, I go, do you like the schoolgirl outfit? And they go, oh yeah, I've always had the fantasy about schoolgirls. Like, oh, I can't call you a dirty little pedo because you are a dirty little pedo.
Oh, they actually say that. Is it common?
Yeah. It's 50-50. I find it's more older guys who have the schoolgirl fantasy. I find younger guys are a bit weirded out by it. I've actually had a lot of young guys say to me, and I'm quite proud of them for this being the reason. I'll go, do you want to go for a dance? Like, I can't do the schoolgirl thing. And I do, because I used to wear, it was like the schoolgirl top and the schoolgirl skirt, and I had just normal lingerie underneath. I'd say, would it make a difference if I go and take the schoolgirl stuff off and it's just lingerie? And they'd be like, yeah, I'll come for a dance if it's like that. And I'm like, that's good. Thank you for being a normal fucking human being.
Yeah, I mean, I think the schoolgirl outfit is just like a classic cosplay, isn't it?
I still think it's quite like sexy if it's done the right way. I think, you know,
I think it's meant to be playful. It's not meant to be.
It's like centurions more than like.
It's not meant to be age play. I don't.
C of E primary school. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. Do you know the thing I always find the creepiest? I don't know if you get this in a strip club, but when I worked in a bar, there was a customer, and when you'd pay, he would like stroke your hand as he gave you the money. So he'd like give you it and give you a little greasy stroke.
To be fair, I don't get too much of that. The one that gets me is when I'm stood talking to a guy and he has his arm around my back and I just feel it dropping and I'll just reach behind and lift it back up. You master the art of subtly putting people's hands back where they belong. Like when I go in for a dance, I'll say to the guy, right, my rules are hands to the side. Some girls like them underneath them, but my view is I like to keep them in sight. So if they disappear from my sight, I go, where have they gone?
Oh, yeah, because it's different in different countries. So in England, there's no touching.
No touching. In some clubs in England as well, it's full no contact and you've got to, you can't sit on the lap either. Where I work, we can sit on the lap. So I say hands to the sides.
It always surprised me in America when you're at a strip club and the guys are like just hands everywhere.
America's an interesting one that I learned this. It's for a lot of states, you can only have full nudity if you don't serve alcohol, which I thought was quite interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but
definitely wasn't
cool
like
strip
that
club
in
laws for you.
Nevada.
No, I say hands to the side, open your legs, and then I make a little joke as I sit down. I go, don't touch anything that doesn't belong to you. Don't touch one thing that does, i.e. their dick. And
do some people touch it themselves?
A few people have got their dicks out, and I'm lucky that where I work, I'll just sort of like, he's got his dick out, and then 10 seconds later, 3 doormen come running in, pull him out. But I'll say, put your hands to the side. And the amount of times I'll look over and the hand's just inching towards me, I'm like, no. And some guys, this is the one I don't like because it's such a hard one to complain about. You can't really kick guys out for this. I'll sit in their lap, like if this is the guy, I'm sat in his lap, and I'll be doing my thing, grinding and all that, getting my boobs out, and he'll start thrusting against me. And so, did they teach you this in sex ed at a school? Because that would never cross my mind to do. And I just say the same thing to all of them. I go, now, darling, we're not a horse, we mustn't buck. And usually that stops them and they get a bit embarrassed, and the blowing as well, they'll blow on your back a lot of the time because they're like, I can't touch you, but I will make contact somehow.
Oh, that sounds creepy. I don't want someone to blow on me.
I don't take any shit in my dances. I've had so many guys say to me, oh, you're quite mean, aren't you? I don't really care if you think I'm mean, you know. I probably won't see you ever again.
And I don't think anyone wants anyone to, I wouldn't even want like my partner to blow on me. Like,
I don't even think they think it's sexy. I think it's just, I want to touch her, but I know I'll get kicked out and not get a refund, so I'm just going to blow down her spine, and there, I touched it, I've ruined it. You know, it's insane how many guys are just so determined to ruin it for themselves.
Yeah. So do a lot of people get kicked out of strip clubs?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, photography is a big one because we have no photographers allowed. And the amount of guys who'll go, the problem is guys try and take selfies, but if you hold your phone up to take a selfie like that,
Yeah.
we don't know which camera you're using, and so we have
Yeah.
to assume you're taking
That's
photos of the
fair.
stage. Most people go, oh shit, yeah, I didn't even realise, which it's signposted
like a
on your
habit
way
as
in, so
well.
you should have realised.
Yeah, I think when you're drinking and it's like a habit,
But
like if you
then
have a
the amount of
moment.
them that then argue the point, it's like, don't
Oh, they don't
argue.
just say sorry and
This is
put it away.
honestly the amount of guys in strip clubs who just argue when they're being told off. It's so.
Being in a strip club sounds a bit like being at school and being like,
Honestly, I feel like a teacher. Like it is. I've obviously I've done so many like group dances where some guys, like I had one on Saturday night where the guys were like, yeah, can we go to like a group dance? And I'm not allowed to be outnumbered by guy customers. I can dance for couples, but I can't have, you got to have one girl for every guy just for safety reasons. I'm like, right, I'm going to get 2 of my gorgeous friends and we're all going to go. And it was like organising a fucking school trip. Like, one guy's wandering off, going and looking at the stage. We don't know who's paying. I've said to one of them, I'm like, oh, are we paying all together? Are you paying separately? He's like, he's paying. It's like, children. It's like, honestly, this is what I mean when I say guys just let their inner self come out in strip clubs.
yeah. And
They forget how to behave.
I just can't believe that they start touching themselves.
That's not one I get a lot of, to be honest. I
But
get more of...
Is there one every night that does that?
No, I
No,
don't even, like
not that
fully
common.
touching themselves. I've only ever seen that happen once. It was my first year dancing, and it was a couple I was dancing for, and they tried to touch each other. And I'm
Okay.
very quick on the ball. If you can't do that, if you do that again, you're out. And I do kick them out because I say once I've warned you, there's no excuse. I had one guy try and get his dick out a couple of months ago, but his English wasn't his first language, and I think that was a genuine, I'm not really sure what I'm paying for. I'm assuming I'm getting a blowjob. And he was very apologetic when I said, no, this isn't that. One guy, this is probably one of the worst stories I've got, actually. It was a VIP session and he went off to go pee halfway through. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. You know, it's your time you wasted. If you want to go pee, fair enough. Comes back and I go and sit in his lap and I'm like, it's a bit damp, this. And I'm like, sweetie, did you dribble a little bit? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, I can finish doing your dance, but obviously I don't want to sit in your piece. I'm going to go and step back and dance on the other side of the room. I'll still make sure you get your full time. You still see my tits and pussy and everything, but I'm not sitting in your lap anymore. And he was very drunk and he goes, why are you all the way over there? And I'm like, because you had a little accident, sweetie. And he went, no, I didn't. Look, and gets his dick out. And I remember there's always security walking around. I remember just shouting for them, and they were in so fast that they nearly took me out on the way in because they just stormed straight in and dragged him out. And I'm just like,
I mean, that's a proper night out, isn't it? Like,
what a story for that
like
guy.
getting chucked out
I
of
wet
the
myself in a strip club.
with your pants on your ankles.
But most guys, the most touching themselves you get is kind of a fair one. Like, I'm not going to endorse it because they're not meant to do it, but
more like just tucking it to the side.
Yeah, afterwards they'll go, right, can I have a second? I'm like, yes, go for it, sweetie. And they sort of go,
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, some stuff's moved in transit, hasn't it? Which is a fair one. You don't want to be uncomfortable. You know, you probably put your dick down the side of your jeans thinking, I'm going to be flaccid today. And then I came over and ruined that for you. So